Y'all gonna have to excuse me. I did not sleep well last night, and I did not sleep any the night before. Zero. I was on the phone all night long with a friend. And we just didn't realize how late it was until she said, do you realize it's 6 o'clock in the morning? And I said, oh my gosh. I have not done that since I was, I don't know when. I cannot remember the last time I stayed up all night long because it is stupid to do so. This 41-year-old body does not respond to no sleep the way it used to. Normally at 9 o'clock, I'm like, for real, look at this. I went to a retirement party for one of my good close friends, Cindy. She retired from school, just last minute decision in the middle of the summer. So I think she planned it because when you retire, they give you a party at school, and I don't think she wanted that. Well, we surprised her, and her friends got her a little party up together, and I went today, blah, blah, went to lunch. It was fun and sad because I'm going to miss her. She was one of my ride or dies, as the children say. What does that mean? You're either going to ride with me or you'll die? I'm not sure I'm a ride or die for anybody but for my son and my parents. My brother, maybe? Susan, maybe? I don't know. That seems pretty harsh. Okay, my point in making this video today is because I want to discuss Facebook. Y'all know I got off of it because it was sucking the life out of me. First, I got hacked. Second, I was so tired of messages like parents from school, and not all of them. I don't want to be ugly, but Facebook is for your personal life, not for your professional life, and they stress that at school. Then messages from men, leave me alone, please. Facebook should not be for hookups either. It's just my opinion on the matter. Well, and lastly, it's because it like had control of my life. When I'm sitting at traffic, scrolling Facebook. In the grocery line, scrolling Facebook. Wake up in the morning, scrolling Facebook. Before I go to bed, scrolling Facebook. In the middle of the day, scrolling Facebook. There's plenty to do in this world besides having your phone in your face. Well, after 3 glorious months, my business has suffered greatly without that avenue of social media. Now, I still have Instagram, I still have YouTube, I told you guys that, but that it does not reach the number of people as Facebook does. And my new budget lifestyle demanded more money if I want to pay my medical bills and things off in a timely manner. So I'm not 50 years old and still owing for this stuff. I'm exaggerating, but you get my point. So I reactivated my Facebook, 2 days ago. Like, night before last, at night. Yesterday morning, I get the text message. And let me just read it out to you. Okay, I forgot I can't read it out to you because it's on my phone and I record with my phone. Sorry. Basically, it said, hello, Shauna. My name is Greg Hunt from Washington, and I am currently in the United States Air Force serving on the peacekeeping mission in Libya. He goes on to say that he's in the war zone, and he saw me on Facebook, went in my about section and got my cell phone number because I was adorable and seemed like a nice person that he wanted to get to know. Then he said, and I assume that you want to get to know me? Question mark. No, Greg, I don't want to get to know you because you are a stranger. And a creep for messaging a perfect stranger. He didn't know me. What if I was a serial killer? A pint-sized serial killer, but a serial killer nonetheless. So I responded, how did you get this number? No, I'm not interested in getting to know you because I do not have contact with strangers. Please do not contact me via any method again. He said, I know how you feel, but I think that we would really, he didn't say hit it off, because actually his form of speaking / texting seemed very stilted and not, like English was not his first language. That doesn't mean that he can't be a United States Air Force guy, right? Sorry, Marley wants to come in. Please ignore my house, it is a wreck. Okay. All right, hey Marley. And he said, please, I'm lonely. I just lost my only friend in the war zone. He kept saying in the war zone. And then he said, I know that you wouldn't leave a soldier who's fighting for your freedom out in the cold. I know that you would choose to communicate with me so I wouldn't be so lonely. He used my American citizenship and loyalty against me. I mean, heinous. That's a heinous crime. So I just ignored him. I continued to ignore. I put the text on Do Not Disturb because apparently if you don't, now, please correct me if I'm wrong or tell me how to do it. Unless he calls, I can't block the number. Because I looked, I went to, you know, I created, you know how your iPhone will, if the person states their name in the message, your iPhone will generate a message that says, could this be Greg Hunter? Or whatever. Because he said, I'm Greg Hunter. Or Greg Hunter, I don't know. So I saved the contact so I could block. It didn't give me that option, so I'm going to try again. Well, I thought because I kept ignoring him. If you keep ignoring someone, they'll leave you alone, right? No. 5-10 minutes later, when I still hadn't responded back, he texts, hello, Shauna, how are you? Like he just hadn't texted me and I just hadn't said, don't text me. So I ignored him again. He sent this long, woe is me, cry me a river text, and I just ignored him again. Now, guys, this is hard for me. I have a bleeding heart. I want to, help the homeless and befriend the lonely and take care of the people that make fun of. That's me, and it's killing me. But this time, he's a creep, it feels like. I feel like he's dangerous or gonna try and steal all the money I have. Joke's on you, Greg Hunter. Anyway, he stopped texting me. Thank goodness, right? Last night, I was sound asleep at almost midnight. This is why I didn't sleep well. And he starts calling me. And it came up like 1-800 number from Hawaii. Of course, I was in a dead sleep, and when your phone rings, I keep my phone on silent at night because once I wake up, y'all, no matter what time it is, I'm awake the rest of the night. It's my most negative trait about me. I hate it. These bags right here, no sleep. And from crying at Cindy's party, but I digress. So I answered like, hello, that terrified hello, and he's like, Shauna? I said, yes, who is this? What's wrong? He said, hey Shauna, it's Greg Hunter. If you could have seen my face, I said, it is midnight here. Do not call me again. And he said, no, please talk to me, please. And it was this weird, soft voice. And, I mean, a little bit of me thinks it's maybe somebody who knows me who's trying to play a trick. I don't know. But nonetheless, it's psycho. He said, I said, where did you get my number? He said, Facebook. I said, no, you didn't. Because I have it. The only reason my number's on there is because if you have Facebook on your phone, you have to have a way for it to connect. That's common sense. Well, on the settings, I have it under that only I can see my number. There's even a little lock on it. I immediately went to my Facebook page and looked at it. It's locked up. So I said, no, you didn't. Who is this, and how did you get my number? He said, I promise I got it from your Facebook page. So I said, don't call me again. Goodbye. I don't want to talk to you. 5 seconds later, he calls again. I hit ignore. And all the while, I'm trying to scroll down and, block this caller. Well, he calls again. At this point, my son, who was still up, he hears the angst in my voice from my bedroom. He said, who is calling you? And he called again, and I said, you answer it. And I had just said to him, I said, I'm married. My husband does not appreciate you calling me. Leave me alone. So when Chisholm answered, he said, hello, and he hung up. Well, then immediately he calls back. And Chisholm answered it again and told me to get in my room, and he went outside and used some adult talk that I don't want to hear my only child using those words, and told him under no uncertain terms are you to call her anymore. Well, he texted me as soon as Chisholm brought my phone back in my room. I got in bed and I was like, okay. And then I blocked his number, that number. 10 seconds later, he's texting me. I don't even have to talk to her. I want to talk to you. I'm lonely. You and I could be friends. Please give me a chance. I want to be friends with both of you. And he said, we don't have to make this a big deal. What does that tell you? Tells me he didn't want us to call the police or report him or whatever. Well, I went to Facebook to try and find his page so I could report him. There is no Greg Hunter. No Greg Hunt. There's one that's married with kids. It's like some kind of job or somewhere. He's not in the Air Force stationed in Libya, because I stalked his page. So I was at midnight going, this is why I got off of Facebook. And when I reactivated my page, for a day, I didn't post anything. I was like, oh, I didn't even want people to know I was back on. But I made a skincare post, because that's why I have the Facebook page now. And my friends were like, hey, you're back. And I love that, it's nice. And I said, begrudgingly, I'm back, but I'm back. And then I made a post the next day about skincare, and I already have an order. Already. So I'm just going to have to put up with it. But this phone number, Jazz, it's not cool. I've got to figure out, because I don't give my phone number out to strangers. I got to find out how to fix this. How do I fix this? Because it's locked on my page. It's a conundrum. Okay. Thanks for listening to my little vent session. Moral to this story is there are creepy people everywhere, and you can't trust Facebook. It's from the devil.